It's the narrative that helped sweep President Trump into the White House, a self-made billionaire with a little help from his real estate mogul father.
I started off in a small office with my father in Brooklyn and Queens.
But an explosive report by the New York Times paints a very different picture. The Times obtained tens of thousands of pages of financial records, documents NBC News has not had the opportunity to independently review. It found that Mr. Trump and his father built their fortune by engaging in a, quote, pattern of deception and obfuscation, saying much of this money came to Mr. Trump because he helped his parents dodge taxes. He and his siblings set up a sham corporation to disguise millions of dollars in gifts from their parents. The paper's entire investigation documented for Showtime.
Fred Trump's estate tax return is in the building right now. It's incredible that we have it, and that opened a door, and then once you sort of pull the string, the whole thing unraveled.
And while candidate Trump boasted,
My father gave me a small loan of $1 million.
the Times says his father actually loaned him $60.7 million at the time and suggests that's not all he got. It says over the course of his life, Mr. Trump received the equivalent today of at least $413 million from his father's real estate empire, making him a millionaire by age 8. And the Times says he and his family avoided big tax hits on their wealth by engaging in questionable schemes. The paper calling the most overt fraud a company created by the Trumps in the early 90s, which siphoned millions of dollars from Fred Trump's empire by manipulating prices and pouring the profits into a shell company. The president's private lawyer saying the transactions in question were handled and approved by tax professionals, not family members. The White House also firing back.
It's a totally false attack based on an old recycled news story. I will say one thing the article did get right was that it showed that the president's father actually had a great deal of confidence in him.
But was any of it illegal?
I don't think it's proof positive that they submitted false documents. I do think it shows that there was gross manipulations of the valuations. It looks amazingly suspect.
The New York State Tax Department is investigating. Experts agree it's highly unlikely President Trump would face any charges given the statute of limitations. In a tweet, the president called the report a boring hit piece.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.